If your teenager is struggling in school, they're not motivated, they're not handing in work, they're just literally not doing anything, I need you to listen to this. This is one of the biggest challenges that parents reach out to me for. And so I've been doing some research and I hope I can get this across in a way that makes sense. First of all, I understand this personally because I was a student that went from straight A's to F's and almost failing out. I stopped doing homework, I stopped showing up to class, I just plain quit. Your teenager is not lacking motivation. I cannot say that enough. Your teen is not lacking motivation. What they are lacking is hope. Did you know that hope is not actually an emotion or a feeling? Hope is a way of thinking, a way of behaving, hopefulness. Based on the research that I've just done, hopelessness was first studied in 1989, and C.R. Snyder studied hope as a whole, as well as hopefulness and how it can actually be measured quantifiably. Do you want to know the one key factor between hopelessness and hopefulness as a way of thinking? Internalizing failure. Hopelessness comes from internalizing what's happening, either by one event or lots of small, tiny events where perhaps your teen was trying and it just wasn't working, and then it really wasn't working until it was really not working. And now they have internalized that failure. They have attached that failure to who they are as a person, their value, their character, and their worth. And when they internalize failure, they build shame. And it sounds like, I'm too stupid, I'm not enough, I'll never get this is never gonna work, I'm a terrible person, I suck, etc. Hopelessness is built when self-worth is tied to external performance. And this is one of the hiccups in parenting in this generation, is that we know performance-based parenting is not healthy. Constantly tying your teenagers' love or how much you love them to how they're doing at school. How'd you do at school? How'd you do on that exam? How'd you do the test? Our obsessiveness with performance-based metrics as to whether or not we deem our teenager worth our love, attention, and accolades is building a shame story and hopelessness in them such that they are not trying at school. That's how I was raised. I'm speaking firsthand experience. The distinct measurable attribute in those people who are very high hopeful is that they do not attach external results to who they are as a person. They know that sometimes they had a bad day. Maybe the teacher had a bad day. Maybe the person who honked at them had a bad day. And this isn't about them as a valuable, lovable person. This is just they had a bad day. And by not attaching that to their worth, they build resilience and confidence to keep going in the face of challenge and trial. In order to build hopefulness in your teenager, the first thing you need to do is let them know that you love them unconditionally, that what happens to them or their metrics or grades does not define their value or worth, that they are infinitely lovable and valued to you regardless of that. It is okay to have a bad day or even a rough and really hard year, which the pandemic was for many of them, and it doesn't mean that they are a failure. So let's make 2023 the year that we stop asking our kids about how was school, how'd the exam go, how'd you do on that test, and we start asking them who they are, how they feel, and how we can support them to feel even better about themselves, knowing that our love isn't conditional based on their grades.